Everyone talks about retirement like it's a single target you're aiming at. Hit the number, retire, done. But here's what nobody tells you. The number itself is almost meaningless. I've seen people retire with $800,000 and sleep like a baby. And I've seen people with $3 million in the bank lying awake at 3 a.m., terrified they're going to run out of money. Why? Because the difference isn't what you have. It's how you built it. Today, we're breaking down exactly what it actually takes to generate $10,000 a month in real retirement income. And spoiler alert, the math is way more flexible than you think. And that's the game changer. Let me start with something I see all the time. People come to me and they say, I need $10,000 a month to retire. And when I ask them why, they usually say something like, well, that's what I need to live the lifestyle I want. But here's the thing they're not seeing. That $10,000 is just a number. It has no meaning by itself. Because $10,000 could be completely sustainable for one person, an absolute disaster for another. The mistake? Treating retirement income like it's a single bucket that has to be filled the same way for everyone. The reality is this. Your $10,000 a month doesn't have to come from the same place. It doesn't have to come from your portfolio alone. It doesn't have to come from the same sources every single year. And that changes everything. Think about it this way. Two people both need $10,000 a month. Person A, they have nothing but their portfolio. Every dollar has to come from selling their investments. If the market tanks, they're stressed. If there's a crash year one, they could be in real trouble. Person B, they get $3,000 a month from Social Security, $4,000 from a pension, and only $3,000 from their portfolio. Same income, completely different stress level. Same number, completely different lives. And most people never think about this. They just focus on the headline number and ignore what's actually feeding it. So, let's talk about the real way to think about this. There are three income streams in retirement, and how you stack these three determines everything about your financial stress and your flexibility. Stream 1, guaranteed income. This is a foundation. Social Security, pensions, annuities, anything that pays you the same amount every month, no matter what the market does. Here's why this matters. A guaranteed dollar is not the same as a portfolio dollar. If I give you a choice between $1,000 guaranteed forever or a $1,000 payment from your stock portfolio, which would you rather have? Everyone says guaranteed. Guaranteed income is like the base of a pyramid. The bigger this is, the less everything else matters. Let's look at a real example. You have a couple, both worked. So they each get $2,800 a month from Social Security. That's $5,600 a month combined, or $67,200 a year. Now they need $10,000 a month. So their gap is $4,400 a month. Can you feel the difference? They don't need a massive portfolio anymore. Their baseline is already locked in. Stream 2, flexible long-term income. This is your portfolio. Stocks, bonds, diversified investments. The key word here is flexible. This is money that can adjust based on what's happening. Now, here's what most people get wrong. They think about their portfolio like it's a fixed income source, like they need it to generate the same amount every single year. But that's not how it works. Your portfolio is there to top off the guaranteed income. If market returns are strong, you take more. If it's a bad year, you adjust. This is where flexibility becomes your greatest weapon. Most people can actually reduce their spending 10 to 15% in down years and not notice it. They don't have to take the same withdrawal every year. But nobody plans for this flexibility. Stream 3, discretionary or flexible spending. This is the part of your budget that can actually shrink. Travel, dining out, hobbies, upgrades. Here's the thing that changes everything. If 60% of your $10,000 is locked into housing, food, healthcare, and transportation, but only 40% is flexible, you're not really as inflexible as you think. In a down market, you can travel less. You can eat out less. You can delay that renovation. But you still have your home, your food, your healthcare, your car. The person who treats their entire $10,000 as locked and necessary is in a much worse position than the person who understands that $6,000 is locked and $4,000 is flexible. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between a fragile plan and a bulletproof plan. Okay, so now let's put this together with actual numbers. And I want to show you 4 real scenarios that all target the same $10,000 a month, but the portfolio size? Wildly different. Scenario 1, the solo performer. Single person, age 65, wants $10,000 a month, no pension, just Social Security and savings. Social Security, $2,400 per month, about average. Portfolio needed to fill the gap, roughly $90,000 a year. Using a sustainable 4% withdrawal rate, you need about $2.25 million. Now, this is real. This is the baseline. This person is entirely dependent on their portfolio, and it has to be big enough to handle market volatility. But here's the thing. This person doesn't have to stay here. Scenario 2, the strategic spender. Same person, same Social Security, same income goal, but they're willing to make one strategic change. They're willing to have their portfolio last until they're 95, not forever. This changes everything. Now, instead of needing $2.25 million, they might only need $1.65 million because they're not trying to preserve the entire portfolio forever. They're willing to spend it down strategically over 30 years. That's a $600,000 difference. Based on a mindset shift, this person is saying, I don't need to leave a $2 million estate. I just need to not run out of money while I'm alive. That's powerful. Scenario 3, the partnership. Now we have a married couple. Both have comparable Social Security benefits. $2,400 each equals $4,800 a month combined. That $4,800 already covers nearly half of their $10,000 goal. The gap is only $5,200 a month, or $62,400 a year. Using that same 4% withdrawal rate, they only need a portfolio of $1.56 million. Not $2.25 million. $1.56 million. For the same lifestyle. The only difference? There's 2 of them. 2 Social Security checks. 2 guaranteed income streams. Scenario 4, the layered approach. Now we get really interesting. Same couple. But let's say one of them has a pension from their career. $1,500 a month. So now their guaranteed income is $4,800 from Social Security plus $1,500 from pension equals $6,300 a month. They only need $3,700 a month from their portfolio. That's $44,400 a year. At a 4% withdrawal rate, $1.11 million. Same couple, same lifestyle. But because of the pension, they need nearly $1 million less than the solo person in scenario 1. Let that sink in. The difference between needing $2.25 million and $1.11 million? It's having multiple income streams. It's not being dependent on one source. It's diversification of income, not just investment diversification. Now, here's what I want you to understand. In all 4 of those scenarios, I showed you the math, the portfolio sizes, the withdrawal rates. But the real difference, and this is the part that nobody talks about, is this: what are you willing to do? Not what can you afford. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to have your portfolio last 30 years instead of forever? That saves you hundreds of thousands. Are you willing to spend less in years when the market is down? That changes your entire plan. Are you willing to simplify your lifestyle in your 70s when your travel naturally decreases anyway? That changes everything too. Because here's the truth. Most people in retirement don't maintain the same spending level they had at 65. A 65-year-old travels more, eats out more, spends more than a 75-year-old. That's just the reality of how life works. But you never see retirement calculators that account for this. You never see plans that say, okay, years 65 to 70, you spend this much. Years 70 to 80, it naturally decreases. Years 80 and beyond, it decreases again. If you plan for that, your portfolio requirements drop dramatically. The people who have the lowest stress in retirement aren't the ones with the most money. They're the ones who built their plan around flexibility, not rigidity. So here's what I want you to take away from this. When you ask, what do I need for $10,000 a month in retirement? The answer is a number. The answer is a question back. What sources are you building? Are you building a retirement on a single pillar? Risky. Are you building a retirement with multiple income sources? Safe. Are you treating your portfolio like it has to last forever? You're being too conservative. Are you willing to adjust based on market conditions and life changes? You're building a real plan. The gap between needing $1.1 million and $2.5 million, it's not luck. It's not income level. It's the structure of your retirement income. And here's the kicker. You have more control over this than you think. You can't control the market. You can't control inflation. But you can control whether you have one income source or three. You can control whether your plan is rigid or flexible. That's where the magic happens. If you're somewhere on the path to retirement, or if you're already there, the question isn't, do I have enough? The question is my income structure set up to win? And that's something you can build right now, no matter where you are. I break this down even more in depth over on my site, where we have retirement calculators and income structure templates that help you model different scenarios. Link is down in the description. What I really want to know is this, and drop in the comments. What does your retirement income look like? Do you have multiple streams, or are you still dependent on one source? I read every single comment, and I genuinely love to hear what you're building. If this video helped you think differently about retirement, please hit that like button. It helps more people find this channel. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's a great time. I break down financial strategy like this every single week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.